Welcome back, everybody, to your creativity. We are going across the airwaves up to Canada, Toronto specifically, with our guest, Zoe Wiesenthal. I didn't ask before. Is that the correct way to say it?
Wiesenthal. Wiesenthal is what I say, but Wiesenthal gets said so much that I'm just like, yeah, close enough.
Okay. Well, now we know. So you are on set today for Ruby and the Well for season 2.
I am, yeah.
How are things going?
Things are going really well. We're all really happy to be back. I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day today. You can't see, our blinds are closed, but it's a really nice day today. And yeah, with season 2, we're all just having a good old fun time.
I'm only 3 episodes into season 1, but is there anything you can tell us about season 2?
About season 2? Oh, you're jumping the gun. I'd ask you to finish the first season first, but season 2, what I would say is it's, more of what everyone loves. It's all the, solving the wishes, granting that, really helping everyone in the town. And in season 2, we really get to see kind of how the town's coming to life with what Ruby's been doing and her friends, how they've been helping people. You're really seeing the benefits of that throughout the town. And, more people are out on the streets saying hi to each other, the fountains in full bloom and things like that. And it's really just the rebuilding of a town that's flourishing.
Nice. That fountain at the top of the street reminds me of the fountain in Cars.
Yes. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. I've never thought of that before. That's great.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that reminds me of the one in Cars. Speaking of the show, it's very layered. There's lots of elements to it. There's the supernatural with the well, family drama, teen drama, moving to a new place. Where do you draw to portray that stuff?
Oh man, big question. I mean, as you said, there's so many elements in the show, so it's a bunch of different places, I would say, for sure. Is there any like specific topic that you can think of like one theme in the show?
No, I was just kind of curious. Maybe moving to a new place and meeting new people. And
I mean, yeah, definitely. I had to move for this show. I moved from Vancouver in Canada, where I live, to Toronto. So in the first episode, when Ruby and Daniel have moved to Emerald, I was definitely in that similar, like, when Ruby's seeing everything for the first time, so was I, because I had never seen like Hamilton or anything like that before. So it was a very natural way to do it, I would say, which was wonderful for me.
Nice. What about the project drew you to it? Because you kind of done fantasy before with The 100 and Charmed.
Yeah, usually a lot darker themes, I would say.
Yeah. Those are definitely darker.
One's dying on this show, luckily. But yeah, so I would say, oh man, I could talk about this for a long time. I mean, one of the biggest things was that how this is a show that it tackled trickier subjects, like the loss of a parent and things like that. But it did it in these very friendly, lighthearted ways that teaches young kids about it. And I find this show has something for everyone. It's, has these very simple messages like, help people, be kind, for younger audiences. But then there's also, other storylines, like a lot of what Daniel's going through, that, a lot of people who are in his age and like parents can watch and get enjoyment out of that too. And it's something I'd never really seen before in a show, which made me really excited about the project.
I just finished watching episode 3 of season 1 last night. It's the one where the dad is kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Because of the fire in the episode, the family's kind of, standoffish with them. And, I just loved how that wrapped up, where it was just a huge misunderstanding and he's actually trying to help and protect somebody. So yeah, the storytelling is,
it's things aren't always what they appear.
Yeah. Well, this show was created by Ryan and Leanne Adams, who also created Dwight In Shining Armor. Did you ever catch that show at all?
I didn't. No, I don't watch much TV, I have to say.
All right. I was just curious because I met them and they're amazing people. Have they came to set at all?
Yeah, they have. I've met them before. They're both so lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I mentioned those previous shows. How have they helped you play Ruby?
Well, as I said, those other shows that I've done have definitely been a little darker, is what
Yeah.
I would say. But I find in a weird way that kind of helped with coming to this project. It was a very, very new thing for myself. And I think that helped because Ruby has this kind of like childlike wonder in every situation where she's just finding out things for the first time. And with me, navigating a new tone of a show, that they kind of parallel they're very similar and they were kind of parallels of each other. That's what the word I was looking for. But yeah, so I'd say that's how other roles have helped me, because to find direct things, they're so different.
In the show, you have to kind of introduce yourself to new people all the time. Basically, each episode you're meeting a new person.
Yeah.
Being an actor, have you always been outgoing, or were you kind of more meek and mousy when you were
Oh,
younger?
it depends for sure. I did theater for a long time, and in that I was definitely a lot louder, I would say. But in public I can be quite shy, I suppose. It changes situation to situation, but I'm definitely not as outgoing as Ruby, I would say.
Gotcha. What kind of stuff did you do in theater? What kind of productions?
Oh man. Well, I started at Arts Umbrella, which is kind of an art school in Vancouver, when I was 3. And I just never stopped. And through that, I did productions. We did You're in Town, which was my very first year in the pre-professional program, which I loved. And we also did Into the Woods. And we were gonna do Merrily We Roll Along. That was gonna be my final show. But then I came and did Ruby instead. Halfway through working on that show, I booked this and I had to leave.
Do you see yourself going back to theater?
Yes, I do. Hopefully.
Awesome. What was my next question?
I'm ready for it.
Kind of covered that one. Who inspires you personally, professionally?
Oh, simple answer, but I gotta say my mom.
I'm sorry.
My mom always in my hair. It's simple, like Ruby, that's a parallel we have. But no, my mom, both of my parents have always been big inspirations to me. They've always been there for me.
Awesome. What kind of situations are most creative for you?
Oh, I feel like that's so general. I mean, my job is getting to play pretend, so I'd say the whole thing is quite creative, and it's just a wonderful environment that really, benefits that kind of like, oh, what if we did this? And everyone, okay, or maybe not. So just getting to work here is such a creative outlet for me, but also writing is something I really like doing. Yeah, those are the main two. I mean, I feel like you can find creativity anywhere.
Nice. All right, we kind of went through them pretty quick, so I have bonus questions.
I love it. I'm
The
ready.
first one, what does creativity mean to you?
Oh, I don't know. That's a very good question. I could go very philosophical with it, but I don't want to bore you.
No, whatever way you like.
No, I mean, I think that's the beauty of creativity, is it's so many things and it can't really be labeled, because what's creativity for me would differ with someone else. I'm sure our definitions of creativity would be different, but for me at least, that's what it is. It's everyone's interpretation of, oh, being spontaneous, being, artistic, all of that wonderful stuff.
Very nice. Who is your favorite Muppet and why?
I love Beaker. I've always loved Beaker so much. Reasons why, I don't know. As long as I can remember, Beaker's always been my favorite Muppet.
Nice.
It's just so fun, he doesn't say words.
Yeah.
Just stand him, right? He's always panicking. Maybe that's why I sympathize with him.
it's kind of like Chewbacca. He's his sidekick, and his friend knows exactly what's going on, but the rest of
Yeah,
us have no idea what he's saying, but you can see their
'cause he's
partnership
worried
there.
about something.
Yeah. And then this is always weird to ask an actor, in the movie of your life, who would you like to play?
Me, I hope.
There you go.
I hope I can play myself. That'd be the easiest job ever. Oh my gosh. Just show up. I'm ready. I'm already all set.
And I just thought of this question, you're up in Canada.
Yeah,
What are some of your favorite Canadian shows and Canadian actors and comedians?
man, I love, all Canadian cinema and things like that, and I really try to support local and everything there. Kim's Convenience was a show I loved for so yeah, I loved Kim's Convenience. Schitt's Creek was another show that I loved a lot. Yeah, I mean those are the first ones to come to my head. Now that I'm thinking about Schitt's Creek, Dan Levy comes to my head, of course. A lot of Canadian icons who've come from like doing improv as well. Is John Candy Canadian? I feel like he is. Yeah, John Candy. I needed to make sure. I needed to check it. I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. We're checking on that.
No, he is.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I feel like I've known for so long, and then I panicked in the moment. But yeah.
He worked with John Candy on John Candy worked with Eugene Levy in SCTV.
Yes, that's right. And he was also on Home Alone as well, which was a lot of Canadian actors on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What does creativity mean to you? We're talking about it, so now I'm curious.
Flipping it right back. Well, I'm a graphic designer, so it's all about problem solving in creative ways and just making things out of nothing, basically. Just
Much.
solving problems and making things up.
Thank you.
Our listeners are locally and nationally BYUtv on the app, and season 2 coming soon.
Coming soon. Get excited.
Thank you, Zoe. You have a great day, and
Thanks so much. You too.
have a fun rest day on the set.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.